Hey, it's Morgan. Welcome back to my channel. There's something that I have to tell you because I've been hiding it so well. Some people would consider me a nerd. If you figured it out, good job. So there's this tag for nerdy people like me and probably you. I mean that in a complimentary way. You know, if you're watching this channel and you like it. If not, then what are you doing here? What are you doing? Just go. So there's this nerd tag that's been floating around the internet and I found it and there's a lot of questions. So I'm just gonna go with the top like 10 or so. Number 1 is Kirk or Picard. This is so hard because Picard was the first captain that I saw that I really liked. And he's played by Patrick Stewart, who is Charles Xavier, and I love him. He's like a role model. But Kirk is, I'm gonna have to go with Kirk. When the new movies came out, I got obsessed with the original generation and I rewatched all of them and I started reading the books that are based on, they're basically fan fiction, but published fan fiction, the books about them, and I got into the roleplay community and one of my best friends used to roleplay Kirk, so I feel like I gotta go with Kirk. On to question number 2. Warrior, thief, or wizard? Well, it depends on what kind of wizard we're talking about. Is it Harry Potter wizard where you have a wand and you can be cool and you can just naturally do a bunch of magic? Or is it like one of those things where you have to study for years? I know they have to study in Harry Potter, but you know, like even the first years can do some spells. It's not like years of peace and meditation to get a little bit of power. Because if it's a, you know, I have magical power and I can use it, then the wizard. If a wizard requires lots of discipline and all of that stuff, then I would go with the thief. But I would not use my magic to steal, surprisingly enough. Favorite subject in school? Flying. Just kidding, I didn't actually go to Hogwarts. My favorite subject in school was probably theater. What would your Patronus be? Well, I took a quiz and it said that it would be a white stag, which I can go with that. White stag, that's like really cool, that's noble. I like cats though, so you know, based on because I have my own little black cat, I feel like it would be a black cat, but they're all white, so I don't know how that would work. Favorite superhero? Does Zuko count? If we're going with like classic superheroes, it's gotta be Charles Xavier. Charles Xavier is just my role model. He's amazing, he's wonderful. Everything that a superhero should be, but in a non-traditional sense, you know? Star Trek or Star Wars? Well, I kinda answered this earlier, but I'm gonna go with Star Trek. I also love Star Wars, but Star Wars I liked longer, but I never got as into the fandom. And Star Trek, I've met a lot of my best friends through it, and I've just read a lot more, like I've delved into the history of Star Trek a lot more, but only the original series. Marvel or DC? Marvel, for sure. I like DC. I have nothing against DC, but I just have read a lot of Marvel comics and I've only read a few DC ones, and I love almost all of the Marvel movies, and there's only a few DC movies that I really like and enjoy. I do like Gotham a lot. DC, I only follow Batman and Robin, but in Marvel, even though X-Men's my favorite, I follow like a lot of them. Biggest nerd role model? Well, I just said Charles Xavier for the superhero one, so I'm probably him. Iroh. Iroh is my role model. Iroh and Obi-Wan Kenobi, they are amazing people. I don't know if I will ever be like them, but they are good role models. Iroh from Avatar. If I ever say anything and you don't know what it's from and you haven't seen Avatar, it's probably from Avatar. What fictional character did you fantasize about as a kid? Well, I really wanted to be Bilbo Baggins or Frodo Baggins as a kid. Like, I would always dress up and walk around and pretend to be them. I changed my name to Robin for a little bit, like Robin from Batman and Robin. I also loved the girl Robin from Tom and Jerry the movie. I wanted to be like her. I wanted to be best friends with Mary-Kate and Ashley. I don't know if that counts as nerdy or not, but they seemed really cool, especially in their little like weird, I don't know, their kids movies where they like would go do fun stuff. Jocks, friends or foe? Neither. I didn't have a lot of jock friends. I'm not opposed to making them, I just didn't have a lot back in high school or college or now, but they weren't ever enemies to me. I definitely had enemies at school, but they weren't really jocks. They were more just older, cool kids, maybe? I don't know. Party kids, maybe? Should've gotten Azula to come with me to go to some parties and we'd show them who's boss. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Fire. Like Zuko. No, I always struggle with this one because I always say fire or ice. And so if I could have both, that would be awesome. Telekinesis would be the most practical. Telekinesis or teleportation is like the correct answer, I think, because you could, it would be amazing and it would be practical in every sense. And technically, if I had telekinesis, I could probably start fires by like just making the lighter move, you know? And then, I don't know, if you could have telekinesis, can you control fire? Because it kind of is an object. Like normally you can't. I know that you can't in most of the rules, but technically, like, if you can just control matter, then you could control fire. So maybe controlling matter. But like on the normal spectrum, like of just pick up a realistic superpower that's not overpowered like crazy, it'd be fire powers. Alright, well that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know in the comments down below who your nerdy role model was as a child. If you didn't have a role model, maybe your favorite character or someone that you wanted to be your best friend that was fictional. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you very soon. Let me know how you like this angle. Do you like it? Do you like my face? Like so close to you? Is this more personal or is this kind of freaking you out? That would be good feedback for later videos.